Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and just get ready for another action-packed podcast. Look, happy to be here. Happy to see, all your guys' beautiful faces. If you're looking at me and I'm looking at you, not to get awkward or anything. But like I said before, thank you for tuning into GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today. We're gonna start off talking about just like Thursday Night Wrestling review. We have Ring of Honor, TNA, and then we're gonna kick it off to some a WWE SmackDown preview. It's gonna be a good one tonight. You guys probably think it started just like 4 minutes ago. Um, but we also have our wrestling news roundup to kind of cap it all off, and a little bit about Vince McMahon and the news about TKO. Like I said before, we have a pretty awesome show. Before I start, I would like you to like and follow the show, of course. We get a number of questions from the viewers that come in during the show. So, to ensure that your question gets read on air, I ask you to use the tips of donations link at the GSMC podcast.net with your questions. Just put your questions up at the top so I can see it, so we can have a nice little back and forth convo and also, a nice little engagement. So I'm not, babbling the whole time about how I feel. I want to know how you feel too. Yeah, don't be afraid to, drop a message in my DM. Mom, I'm just kidding. Uh, again, the link is at gsmcpodcast.net. Um, with that being said, we have our Thursday night wrestling review. All right, we're kicking off with some TNA. Like I said before in the last podcast, this concept of an 8-4-1 match is actually kind of cool, and I wish that other wrestling promotions would kind of adapt to it. WWE, but let's just get started. So the winner was it was a match among TNA knockouts. The winner faces Jordan Grace for her championship. It's kind of like for the number one contendership. At the beginning of the match, Ash by Elegance was replaced by Steph D. Launder. This was kind of like a huge, like little, like bombshell. Like, oh man, because especially with Ash by Elegance, like having such a great, like she's had such a good push. She has this momentum. This is, I think, her fourth match, but all in all, like I thought that I was surprised when she got out of the match. I was like what's going on here? And then you have this girl come in, and she later wins the match. But at first, as a viewer, you're kind of shocked. You're like, like, that's crazy. Rosemary, Danny Luna, Zaya Brookside, and Steph D. Launder advanced. So now you have a fatal four-way match between the superstars. And out of nowhere comes in Matt Cardona, and with his interference, he helped Steph D. Launder actually win the match. And he actually attacked the Rosemary, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know if it's just WWE, but like, usually, like, the men don't really attack the women, or, I don't know. And I'm not saying, I'm not, no judgment here, but it was just kind of interesting to see that. I remember, like, I saw it and I was like, I had to, like, take a double take. I was like, wait a minute. Like, I replayed it. It popped up on my Instagram, and I was like, what? That's crazy. But I mean, whatever helps you get the dub. You know, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. Any of you guys are the Fast and the Furious fans? I love the Fast and Furious franchises. You know, after the fifth one, I can admit that I was kind of thought that they were pushing it, but they did add The Rock. So technically, me talking about the Fast and the Furious franchise on a wrestling podcast is I'm not wrong. I'm subject. I have the right to do so. Yeah, eat it. I'm just kidding. Anyways, so moving on, we have a squash. GYV defeated Cody Deaner, and we also had Josh Alexander defeated Tracy Williams. Eddie Edwards defeated Mike Bailey, and Eddie Edwards, of course, is one half of the TNA World Tag Team Champs. And he when he defeated Mike Bailey, I saw this. I just like Speedball Mountain was doing, I don't know, they kind of had this momentum riding, and losing this match isn't good. Like, you have one more Ring of Honor before Supercard. So honestly, I just, well, no, I think the next Ring of Honor is Supercard. But I don't know, this is something that you did not need before Chance at the championship. You didn't need to, basically end the match, end the race with your face in this guy's butt. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, they're going to have more of an uphill climb here. Hopefully, Speed Mountain has what it takes to climb up this mountain. Um, so, Laredo Kid challenged Crazy Steve for his digital media championship. So that should be interesting. Crazy Steve has, of course, he obtained the championship. It was kind of, by an assist to AJ Francis, but his match, like I said before, like he beat PCO, like that was pretty big, and um, and now you have him actually defending his title regularly on a low weekly basis, and now you kind of have one at Supercard. For me, in my opinion, I think he keeps the strap. Honestly, I think they can kind of build like this prestige around the title around him because they kind of already had it with Henry, but I don't know. Different personalities, different approaches. It's always good for wrestling. It's all gravy, baby. All right, that was the main event. Well, no, the main event actually was Steve Macklin defeating Chris Sabin. And whenever seeing the name Chris Sabin, it's crazy because I remember him being on top of the X division. I remember once when they had that match, where they would have to like climb across the rope to the middle of the ring to like get the belt. And I remember, Jay Lethal and Christopher Daniels and even AJ Styles. Like, this is way back, man. This is way back, people. Um, Anyways, TNA was pretty good. Ring of Honor, we had Athena defeating Nikita. Nikita. The match started with Athena essentially kind of beating the heck out of her. Like kind of doing that like that heel. She plays a pretty good heel. She plays a good baby face. She's an amazing wrestler. She's an amazing talent. And honestly, with Sheeta breathing down her neck, it's going to be hard for her to keep that Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So at first, I was super, super confident that she would. But with all the weeks, and all the momentum that Sheeta has built, I wouldn't be surprised if the title changed hands here. Honestly, maybe it'd be a nice little switch up for Ring of Honor. Usually, like when wrestling wants to kind of spark new audiences. Like, let's just face it. Like, if you just had the same people winning and winning and winning and winning over and over again, that's not going to be really appealing to the customers. Uh, you know, foreshadowing the basically the wrestling universe. So you got to surprise us. You got to keep us hooked. Like this is day one stuff ish, guys. Expect, speaking to the creative team, but y'all don't need my opinion. Well, maybe you do. That's the reason why you're watching. Well, no, you don't need my opinion. I like use the tips and donations like to talk. I want to hear you guys' opinions too. This isn't just a one side battle. Remember that. Anyways, moving on. So we have Griff Garrison and Cade Carter defeating Cash Jordan and Victor Castella. Um, Dalton Castle defeated Nick Camarado, and Castle was event. Johnny TV came out and did his due diligence, and him and Valkyrie ended up, like kissing over his, his prone body, which was, classic not WWE, classic wrestling heel. The guy gets the girl, kind of like an Edge and Lita kind of thing, where they have each other's backs, and it's kind of not annoying, but like every single one of them are going to be interfering in each other's matches just so the other one can get the upper hand and probably win the match. So expect a lot of that happening in the future with Johnny TV's content, contests. So Mark Briscoe had a promo where he told Eddie Kingston to man up. He told Eddie Kingston to man up. Eddie Kingston recently lost his Continental Championship on AEW against Okada. But I don't know. Okada's a really good individual. He's a really good wrestler. So I don't think he should hang his head too low. He's gonna hang his head high. You know what I mean? Like if you had to lose to somebody, let it be Okada. Like that doesn't take away from your legacy. It doesn't take away from your abilities to facilitate matches in the ring. Eddie Kingston just needs to the past is the past, title's gone, but you still have the Ring of Honor Championship title. So you have to, well, you still have not the championship, but he has the title for Ring of Honor. And it's to the point where the great champions say this over and over again. You celebrate a victory. Your losses, although they come hard, they're not. You don't lose, and you don't dwell. You don't dwell in that loss, and you don't feel sorry for yourself. You have to pick yourself back up, and you have to learn from your losses, guys. That's life basic 101 right there. So I think Eddie Kingston would. I think he's going to pick up the win here. I really do. Also, so Kyrie Hogan defeated Diamante. Also, Evil Uno defeated JD Drake. Evil Uno, that's an interesting name. Like, I don't know why I automatically thought of the Uno card game you're playing. And, you obviously have the red, blue, yellow, and green, and then you have the color wheel card. But what if there was like a card that just said evil, and then like something crazy happened? No, I'm just kidding. No, that's like that'd be on some weird horror movie that honestly I probably wouldn't even buy tickets to see, to be honest. It's my own creation and I already hate it. All right, moving on. So the men's world tag team champion Kyle Fletcher retains his title against Blake Christian. And we kind of all knew this was coming. Kyle Fletcher has been a pretty good world TV champion for the most part. And I think he's probably going to have the strap on him a little while longer. Who knows who's going to, who is he going to face in the future? Like I said before, TNA is approaching Rebellion. Ring of Honor's approaching the Supercard. So it should be interesting to see what all the following weeks heading toward those pay-per-views. So it's going to get juicy. It's going to get good. All right. So don't go anywhere. Our next segment, we're going to talk about WWE SmackDown preview. And it's on there twice. Not because I forgot to erase the first preview. It's because it's that damn good. I'll see you after the break.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, I'm losing shit. A stupid myth, you choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
All right. Well, welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We recently talked about our Thursday Night Wrestling review with Ring of Honor and TNA, and there's pay-per-views coming up. And before we get into our next segment, once again, I want to remind you guys that we are a show that would really love a lot of positive feedback. Peace, love, and positivity. We want to hear from our viewers. We want to get insights, and just whenever there's a different voice that comes in there, which it always develops new perspectives, which is good, especially for like a podcast host. That'd be like I said before, we get a number of questions that from our viewers that come in during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on air, use the tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net with your questions. This puts your questions up on top of the list so I can see it. And it also just really helps the show. Like I said before, peace, love, and positivity, guys. It's all gravy, baby. Again, the link is at gsmcpodcast.net. All right. So since we settled that, we have our SmackDown preview. So right off the bat, I did a short today, basically kind of hyping up the audience about Jade Cargill and her SmackDown debut tonight. Um, she was featured at the Royal Rumble, and she kind of really hasn't been seen since then. But she eliminated Nia Jax, she eliminated Becky Lynch, and she's also like kind of talked some mess, talked her game up before she even came to the WWE. And you kind of have to respect that. You kind of have to respect that. She's coming in here and she has all of her stuff from AEW. She's a very talented superstar. Like Bianca Belair, like Mercedes Moné kind of ish, maybe Charlotte Flair, maybe even the man Becky Lynch. Maybe she could be that damn good. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. I know in the past she's kind of had like she's kind of like injury prone, but I don't know. Maybe WWE would suit her a lot better. And I don't, I'm not trying to, say that all the other promotions are like harder than WWE, but WWE is like PG-13. They don't really get outside of the ring or get into the crowds or the locker room fights or even weapons, so to speak. They mostly fight their matches inside the ring, and an occasional announce table break, which is necessary for life. I'm just kidding. No, but anyways, so Jade Cargill, I think she's going to do pretty good in the WWE. Um, and that kind of brings up the question: Do you think that she's going to come up as a heel or a babyface? As a heel, right now you kind of have Bailey turning face. You have Damage Control. I don't know how much Damage Control is going to last after Bailey wins the championship. I believe she is going to beat Io Sky, but maybe she's going to be that first person to challenge Bailey. As soon as she wins, maybe she makes an entrance out to WrestleMania, points at her belt or something like that, and then the next week on the WWE SmackDown, her and Bianca Belair get in a fight of who's going to challenge Bailey first. So that would be pretty interesting. Kind of like not a babyface, but not a heel. Kind of like what I've exasperated in like my whole opinion about WWE and these storylines, that they should probably let the superstars kind of dictate their own destiny, kind of dictate their own personalities. And when they do that, not only are the superstars happy, but us as fans are happier because you can see that they're having fun doing it. They really like where they are. So obviously the audience are going to have really fun watching the show. So that's my opinion on storylines. But don't get me wrong, it's cool to have this occasional heel and babyface. Like look how well the Cody Rhodes and the Roman Reigns thing has been going on. Like honestly, it's probably been one of the best storylines in WWE history. And that goes back to Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Undertaker against Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker against Kane, Mankind and The Rock, Triple H versus The Rock, Triple H versus Mankind / Cactus Jack / Dude Love / McFoley, Edge and McFoley. There's just been so many like rivalries that I don't know. This is kind of up there. This is a lot of fans have their eyes on this match. Oh well, yeah, they do. Because the reason why The Rock is not facing Roman Reigns in the WrestleMania main event is because of the WWE Universe. They wanted Cody back in that main match card, and they got what they wanted. And to be honest, I kind of wanted that too. You have a guy win the Royal Rumble 2 times in a row. Something has to something has to become of that. So, should be interesting to see how they move forward with that. But moving on, we have the Street Profits in a tag team match against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Both of these teams are excited to watch, but I think the Street Profits are more exciting and they're more of like a tag team duo. I want to say that they're going to win the match because I love seeing Montez Ford, from the heavens, like that frog splash. And Dawkins is also really good too. He's not afraid to jump over the top rope. He's not afraid to get on the ladder. He's not afraid to jump on tables. But right now, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are kind of like that face of like they kind of have their heads up their own butts, so people hate them. Kind of, playing into that heel aspect. Once again, giving an example why heels are good. But I think all in all, they're going to pick up the victory. And I'm only going to say that. I'm only going to say this because last week, the Street Profits were able to come away with the victory against Authors of Pain. And the only reason why they won was because of a roll up. And usually, when a team gets rolled up, they come back the next week and they're like, "You never beat us." Like, it was just by chance, kind of like the whole Chad Gable and Sami Zayn thing where Chad Gable was like, "Oh, you got lucky, you rolled me out. That's the only reason why you're, facing Gunther and you can't beat Gunther. You need to, not let him play you and stuff like that." But I can see the Authors of Pain getting involved in this match and costing the Street Profits their chance at a WrestleMania match, which is kind of sad because the Street Profits are a good tag team. They've been together for the longest time. But I guess it's Austin Theory time, A-Town Down, and also Grayson Waller. Two single stars pretending to be a tag team. I'm just kidding, no. But I really don't like that as a wrestling fan. Like, if a tag team's meant to be a tag team, let them be a tag team. But hey, I'm not part of the WWE creative team, so send in my resume anytime. I'm just kidding, no. So I think that the Street Profits are going to lose. Moving on, we have Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai, and as soon as I saw this match, I thought to myself, I was like, man, I feel bad for Dakota Kai because she's going to get her butt kicked by Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is that good. And she's pissed off because Damage Control spit mist in her best friend Naomi's eyes. And then they're going to get beat. They're going to get beat down this episode. I'm just kidding, no. Honestly, I kind of see this match kind of going the same way the Naomi and Io Sky match went, where I'm not sure if Dakota's going to lose, but she's not going to win, if that makes sense. I can imagine, like, when Dakota Kai's, like, getting her butt kicked, and then all of a sudden, like, the match is broken up by a 3-on-1 assault. You have the Kabuki Warriors, you have Io Sky coming at Bianca Belair, and then down comes the ramp, comes Naomi. Naomi comes to help out her friend Bianca Belair, but once again, the numbers of Damage Control proves pivotal, and Bianca Belair and Naomi are getting beat down. But then who comes out? Who comes out? The girl who got her butt kicked, who Io Sky kicked her butt in the backstage. Out comes Bayley, and then Bayley's going to save Bianca, kind of striking up this Belair, kind of giving Bayley that, the 2 cents of, you know what? Maybe she has changed. Maybe. And she's going to kind of give her the benefit of the doubt. And that's probably going to be how, more of like a babyface play for Bayley. So that's how I kind of see that match being unfolded. Also, we have Butch and Tyler Bates in the 6-pack ladder match qualifier against Legado del Fantasma. And as much as I love Legado del Fantasma, I don't think they have what it takes to really defeat a team like Butch and Tyler Bates. The only reason why I think they would is because they have better chemistry, you know what I mean? But I don't know. You kind of need a guy like Butch and Tyler in the 6-pack ladder match for the WWE World Tag Team titles. It just adds some kind of like, just a different perspective into the match. Because you have everybody who you can, they're predictable. Oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne, they're kind of like the perfect combination of speed, strength, agility, aerial arson, and technical fighting, like submission and wrestling moves and stuff like that. So honestly, I think they kind of deserve it. I hope that they win. But it wouldn't surprise me if Legado del Fantasma comes out because, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, they're high flyers of themselves. Obviously they respect that, the lucha libre kind of aspect of it. Like, and they're also, Santos Escobar. I don't know if he's going to be involved. And now it looks like Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic, is kind of joining the Legado del Fantasma crew. So I don't know if they're gonna. This match is kind of up in the air. I can't wait to watch it. Probably, I'll send you guys some updates on YouTube. So make sure you check on the shorts of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast. So yeah. Next we're going to talk about Kevin Owens, Randy Orton versus Pretty Deadly. This match is going to go exactly the way you think it's going to go, where Owens and Orton are going to showcase their strength and why one should fear the other one. Kind of like, I know that doesn't make any sense, or does it? Like Randy's going to showcase his skills and kind of look at Kevin Owens and be like, "Yeah, you got that coming toward you on WrestleMania, bro." But then Kevin Owens is gonna do the same thing, kind of like I don't want to say that because that's not allowed on PG. But it's kind of like the anything you could do, I can do better, thing where they just try to strike fear in each other's eyes, and then the match is going to end with them staring face to face and pointing to the WrestleMania sign, even. Or maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe Logan Paul gets involved. Logan Paul hasn't been seen in the WWE for. I don't think he was on last SmackDown. I mean, I might be wrong though. Don't quote me on that. But just think about it. If he's able to have Orton and Kevin Owens lose the match, and then they start beating the heck out of each other, and kind of like a preview to the triple threat match, I think that'd be a pretty good promo. I think that'd be pretty dope. But I don't know. I just think that a tag team match, how Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are going right now, there's got to be something within either tonight or tomorrow that's going to kind of drive a wedge between those two guys. And, obviously I think they need to do that. They need to do that to, just get the fans hyped up about this match. Kind of get the fans backing one of the other wrestlers. And honestly, I could say that in a triple threat match, Logan Paul has his fans, you have Randy Orton that has his fans, and you also have Kevin Owens that has his fans. So this is gonna be like one of those matches where honestly I don't know who's gonna win. I have recently predicted that Logan Paul will probably get the dub. But because usually triple threat matches are designed in the wrestling world for an excuse for the champion to kind of weasel his way out, like, you know what I mean? So with that. And finally, ending the segment of SmackDown, we're just going to talk real quick about what happened on Monday Night Raw and what can we expect from the Cody Rhodes, The Rock kind of thing. Like right now, so far, where's Roman? Where's Roman during all this? Like, I know, like, you have The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk. Roman has just been kind of laying low and kind of biding his time, which kind of makes me a little nervous. Like, especially when I'm thinking that Cody Rhodes is going to come out the victor of the Undisputed Universal Champion at WrestleMania 40, Philadelphia. But I don't know. I don't know what Roman's doing or biding his time, or he's kind of just sitting back and be like, I'm going to let the idiots fight each other. Acknowledge me. And then, I don't know. But I think Cody needs to fight back. Cody can't just let what happened on Raw slide. I don't know if it's going to be like the same way that Raw ended, like Cody attacking The Rock. But The Rock, whenever he returns to wrestling, he's viewed as this, like, not like savior, but he's viewed as this complete badass who's like invincible, who's the strongest guy ever, who you can't hurt The Rock. If you put Rock in a vulnerable spot, you might be able to draw more, attention toward this match, more than it already has, because The Rock has been viewed as The Rock, man. Like, you can't beat up The Rock. He was, he's the best. He's the epitome of I think, what was the thing during John Cena? Boots to asses or something like that. But I don't know. I think that Cody Rhodes needs to do something here. He can't just let what happened last week on Monday Night. No, what happened last Monday on Monday Night Raw slide. Definitely. You can't have that. Can't have that. All right, well, don't go anywhere. We have our Vince McMahon and his future in the WWE right around the corner. So, hey, don't go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
All right. I hope you guys liked the last two segments. We talked about our Thursday night wrestling review among TNA and Ring of Honor heading toward their respective pay-per-views. And we also had our WWE SmackDown preview. Hopefully y'all agree with me that Cody needs to step it up and really take it to the boss. Oh God, if he doesn't tonight, Cody. Dude, you need to get dirty, man. You need to get those hands dirty. You need to straight up I don't know, you need to do something. You can't just lay down. Maybe slash The Rock's tires or something, to his car, so he can't go anywhere and be like, oh no, I have a flat. Mess with his mind like that. Maybe he might think that you're gonna attack him, but instead, he walks out of the event with four flat tires. Oh man. Oh, that's worse. How is he going to get to WrestleMania? How is he going to get to WrestleMania with no car? No, I'm just kidding. No, but maybe he should slash the spare too. Just to kind of be certain, and then he should slash all the tires in the city. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just goofing around. I'm not condoning any criminal activities like slashing people's tires, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyways, so I'm not a criminal, but this man that I'm about to talk about right now might be allegedly. So, Vince McMahon's name is currently banned in WWE from saying it, from acknowledging it. They're even looking at past videos, and like I mentioned before, they've kind of blurred his face. They're trying to kind of erase him from, TKO's trying to erase him from everything from all the BS that's been surrounding the controversies of the McMahon / WWE WWF era. So, all right, let's get on into it. This is obviously a TKO trying to distance themselves from McMahon, which is kind of smart. You kind of have WWE has recently merged with TKO, so you can't really have bad publicity like that. That's just not good, company wise, or just it's bad to the core of any company to kind of have somebody like it. It's kind of like a troubled employee, and you're like, man, that guy's representing the company. That guy has our brand on his chest. Sometimes it's just better to just kind of move on. You know what I mean? So after the bombshell lawsuit that alleged Vince McMahon was involved in sex trafficking and the abuse scandal, Vince stepped down, and he actually sold most of his. I actually read a report that he recently sold, next to all of his stock in TKO. Right now, I think it was for $400 million. So honestly, I wouldn't be too mad selling, but with everything going on, I can imagine. It's time, man. It's time to step down. It's time to, right all your wrongs, man. It's time to just do whatever you can to just ensure a comfortable life for your family. I don't know how he's going to handle this case, and it is alleged and allegations, and Vince McMahon, he denies everything, but they have a lot of evidence, man, and I'm not condoning or condemning anybody, but I don't know. And then Vince's reputation with women in the past, it's just it just doesn't look good. So I don't know, a former WWE employee, Janelle Grant, and all the alleged stuff that she's been through. I don't know. That's tough. That's hard, man. That's just absolutely hard. It's kind of difficult to talk about on a podcast, to be honest. And I'm not going to get too graphic or too crazy with it, but So Grant alleged that McMahon coerced her into, defiling acts with himself and just for other men as well. Um, Vince, like I said before, he's denied all allegations. This is a federal criminal investigation, guys. This is pretty serious, and I think the reason why like a lot of the McMahon family has kind of left everything kind of to Triple H, and you don't really see during Triple H's press conferences or promotions of TKO and the WWE, you don't really see his wife Stephanie McMahon by him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's to that point where um you kind of have to give the keys to the kingdom to Triple H here. Well, Paul, Levisqua, but I don't know. I just right now is the perfect time for just the McMahons to just kiss WWE and wrestling goodbye, and it's hard. It's hard because the McMahon family has been involved with professional wrestling ever since the dawn of time, man. Like that, it's crazy. And McMahon obviously has a lot of kind of has like a lot of history. Like, I don't think wrestling fans could ever have Vince McMahon erased from their memory. Like, you know what I mean? But future WWE fans, maybe. But there's just so much stuff that happened with Vince, like Vince and the Stone Cold Steve Austin, Vince and the corporate, and then once when him and Triple H and DX formed together, and then him constantly having matches with his son Shane, feuding with DX again in 2017. Um, it's it's crazy, but Vince McMahon always kind of inserted himself into like the storyline just to kind of make the show better. And some things that he thought that would make the show better maybe wasn't ideal or appropriate, but at the time and considering the circumstances of the wrestling errors and kind of who watched what. Like I said, I watched the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, and I saw how wrestling was back in the day, where there was blood, there was swearing, there was divas. They weren't women's wrestlers; they were considered divas, and people, old fans, old generations, they like that type of wrestling. As soon as wrestling turned into like more of a PG thing, some of them stopped watching it, others continued because they loved the business. But it's just like one of those things where it's crazy how all this is going down. But whatever happens, obviously I don't want wrestling to get hurt from it. But it's to the point where Vince McMahon should probably just cut his ties and just like, I don't know, it's time to retire, man. It's time to call it quits. So this lawsuit also included John Laurinaitis. John Laurinaitis, I believe, is the stepfather to the Bella twins. I could be wrong. So this whole scandal is affecting so many people. So many people are being brought out to the light here. It's absolutely bananas. It's crazy. Bananas. Um, Vince allegedly used Grant in negotiations with WWE superstars for their contracts. Brock Lesnar was later identified as one of the stars that kind of happened to. And like we have been expecting Brock Lesnar to make a comeback to WWE for such a long time, and with this happening, I doubt that he'll probably ever insert himself in the TKO operations again, which is crazy because he was a UFC fighter and then he was a WWE fighter, started WWF, but um so it's kind of sad to see kind of Brock leave on this kind of circumstances. And I don't know if this affects him or Vince's, standing in terms of like getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I honestly kind of think, if this allegations and this lawsuit kind of goes south, they can very much see those two kind of lose that call to, the Hall of Fame. So once again, it was according to Front Office Sports. Corporate officers that were involved was the WWE at the time CEO Nick Khan, COO Bloom, and also Stephanie McMahon. So you kind of have your daughter involved, and the daughter is married to right now the head of Triple H, and it could it this could very much like start a new like era of wrestling because like you're not gonna have any of those guys, and Triple H has been doing such a great job with newly acquired talents, storylines, backstage promos. It's just and like he's has a very prestigious career of his own. He should be, he's going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, hopefully. If not, if something doesn't randomly pop up that involves Triple H, which would be heartbreaking as a Triple H fan. Triple H is probably my second favorite wrestler of all time. First is Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Undertaker, and then of course I liked Kurt Angle. But I know this could be pretty bad. And what kind of baffles me about all this, and throughout this whole thing, you haven't really heard anything from Shane McMahon. And I think Shane McMahon, I kind of feel like he kind of knows how his father is and kind of how he handles business and his employees and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where he's probably, behind the scenes giving Vince support, the family support stuff, some support. But I don't know. I think he's kind of just like keeping his hands out of it, laissez-faire, hands off. And honestly, I could probably say with confidence that if something goes down where McMahon family is completely out of the WWE, you can kind of understand why Shane McMahon wouldn't want to put his hands on wrestling, wouldn't want to continue his father's legacy, because of like so much tarnished relationship that the McMahon name kind of brought to professional wrestling. How many allegations and how many lawsuits were filed because of Vince, or allegations and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it would be smart to for Shane McMahon to also take a step away from wrestling and just, I don't know, retire, just quit, do something else. So yeah, pretty hard to go through. Like I said before, like you never really ideally want to like talk about this kind of stuff at the podcast. But I am your wrestling laureate, so you deserve the news and the update. It was hard for me. I might have grown an ulcer or two talking about this, but for your entertainment, anything. I'm just kidding. What we have to look forward to is our wrestling news roundup. I'm going to give you guys some wrestling some stories to go in through to the weekend, so you guys could go into your weekend a little more educated on what's going on in the wrestling world. Don't go anywhere.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Our first segment, we talked about our Thursday night wrestling review. Our second segment, we talked about our WWE SmackDown preview. And our last segment, we, reluctantly talked about Vince McMahon and his lawsuit and the allegations with Janelle Grant. And also his future with WWE/TKO. But so let's end the program with a little something on the positive side. But not positive side because some of these stories are like injured wrestlers. But hey, what I mean. Let's move on from the McMahon carnage here. Story number one, we have MJF's contract with AEW. A lot of people are a little nervous if MJF is going to come back to the AEW, which I think he will. He's made such a good name there. I don't really see him jumping ship to like WWE. And quite frankly, if he would jump ship to WWE, sorry, I didn't mean to curse. That was a complete accident. But I just don't see him fitting anywhere in like any of the storylines. I think that's the reason why kind of Edge left the way he did, was because his contract was up. He had the whole Judgment Day thing go south, and I don't know. You kind of go back. You kind of go to AEW where you join your your long lasting friendship with Christian Cage, and then you kind of assert yourself and kind of have your own storyline, and that's kind of what Edge did in AEW. So MJF, he hasn't been seen since the AEW World's End pay-per-view in December. But it's been reported that all he's doing right now, guys, is recovering from injuries. He has his contract did end in early 2024, that that report stated. And for me, early 2024 probably would be maybe like around this time. So they're probably in the works with structuring his contract right now, and there's no doubt in my mind that MJF will probably return to the AEW. But this guy is rehabbing. He's trying to recover. He suffered a torn labrum and also a torn shoulder. So those are all things that I don't know. Those are all things I could just put somebody down under, and it can honestly not probably like it never feels the same again. Like I, suffered a torn shoulder once. I think I was like 21 years old, where I was trying to like lift weights like a maniac, and I was, impressed. I was trying to impress everybody by repping to 225 like 15 times, and I'm just sitting there. I was like, yeah, like not knowing all the wear and tear it did to my body. And then like one day I woke up and that was my left. I think it was my left, and I tried to lift it up, and it just it hurts so bad. Still to this day when I'm working out and I feel something, I'm like, oh no, like, and you just know that it was because all the wear and tear your body goes over the years. No one lives forever. Protect the body you got already. Um, so like I said, there's no doubt in my mind that MJF will probably return to AEW. So AEW fans, don't fret, chill, take a chill pill. Your boy E he's here with good news. Good news. Anyways, so TNA is planning on bringing in former AEW talent Mike Santana, which is good because Santana, like, he obviously was in AEW, and AEW and TNA and Ring of Honor, they kind of dabble in each other's, promotions and organizations. So this is not really much of oh my god, like I'm not saying that he's not talented, because he's so talented. All these wrestlers on this roster is talented, but I don't know. It's interesting to see what TNA is planning to do with them. Maybe make him into like an X Division competitor to fight Mustafa Ali. That'd be pretty good. I can deal with that. Um, so WWE star Shotzi has suffered a knee injury. It happened in February. Shotzi challenged Lyra Valkyrie for her NXT Women's Championship. I guess sometime during the match, she hit her knee on the side of the ring or something like that, and she kind of had to quit the match like right away. Like Valkyrie was able to continue her professionalism and kind of like made it seem like Shotzi was still in the match, although she was probably she's probably hurting super bad, which is kind of crazy. But like the way these superstars are so professionally trained, and how they can turn a freak accident like this into something that people are like, oh, it's a good match. You never really suspect anything, of it. But in reality, Shotzi's gone, and she's been gone for a long time. And some people are like, man, whatever happened to Shotzi? Like, that's crazy. I think last time I saw her in a WWE ring was maybe Royal Rumble. I think it was Royal Rumble. That was the last time I saw her. But she's a great superstar. She's super talented. She's fun to watch. So I hope she makes a speedy, and a healthy recovery here. So, Also, long-standing rule in the WWE has been broken, and it was broken last Monday night with the Cody Rhodes and The Rock drama, and where The Rock made Cody Rhodes bleed. And according to PG television, bleeding is unacceptable. And The Rock was asked to comment about it, and he basically like told them to go F themselves. And because he's part of the chairman at TKO, so you can honestly probably say they maybe gave him a little more leeway, especially with what he wants to try to accomplish here in the WWE now that, especially with all this drama going on with the whole Vince stuff. You kind of have to think about it, and you kind of have to speculate that was The Rock brought back to the WWE picture to challenge Roman Reigns to kind of distract the people about what was going on with Vince McMahon, kind of like a scapegoat. And to be honest, it kind of does make a little sense, but you also have to take in consideration that The Rock is the sitting, one of the sitting chairs in TKO. And I can imagine he was probably approached by someone from the promotion, and was like, hey, like, we have so much stuff going down right now. We have all this Vince stuff going down, and it's kind of tarnishing our company. Is there any way you can perhaps step in and have a crazy promo with your brother and Cody? And he probably took that and he was like, absolutely. I bet he's been dying to come back to WWE for the longest time. And I kind of know how, like, it kind of seems like it was like a public relations, like, you know, damage control kind of thing. Like, oh, we need this to happen. We need this to happen, right now, right now, right now. The panic and all. And it's because The Rock has a movie that he's going to film in May. And usually, if The Rock has to shoot a movie, he doesn't really come back to the WWE. He doesn't really, frolic, or he doesn't really dabble inside the wrestling business because he's either working on probably like scripts. He's a lot of acting going on. Can imagine some personal stuff too. Um, but I think The Rock kind of was kind of like that scapegoat TKO kind of involved in wrestling to kind of mitigate the whole attention to this negative Vince McMahon publicity. So in that. All right, and the last news story I've talked to you all about is the unexpected match in WWE WrestleMania 40 has officially been scratched. And so going further on into it, the WWE World Women's Championship tag titles were expected to have a match at WrestleMania, but has been scratched because WWE is planning to have the Kabuki Warriors kind of do something with damage control. So what does that mean? I think that means with Bayley fighting Io Sky for the championship, so that just leaves Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors. And then you're going to have Bianca Belair and Naomi looking for a tag team partner. I'm not sure if it's going to be Jade, but it would kind of make sense if it was. And then kind of like sometime after the match when they win, Jade looks at Bianca and Bianca looks at her, and Bianca ultimately blames her for her not having a match at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship, which is true because she was eliminated by Jade Cargill. But I can kind of see something branching off that, going on, and maybe like the number one contender fights Bayley at SummerSlam. That would actually be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to see you have Jade and you have Bianca. It's two of the top women's talent in their respective organizations and in their respective women's division. Like just in wrestling, women's wrestling in general, both of them have kind of been that steeple, kind of like that, kind of what I was talking about the Mercedes. Why Mercedes Moné was so vital to sign. It's because you could develop a pay-per-view around this person. You can't really do that a lot with some of the men's superstars too. They were able to put women's wrestling on the map. They were able to basically be like, hey, women could hold on to a main event. We can produce just as much publicity, marketing technique as the men do. And you got to, honestly, I really respect that. That's why I kind of hope that Jade Cargill kind of has a successful run in SmackDown. But I don't know, it's going to be fun. The next couple of weeks are going to be fun in terms of WrestleMania. The next couple of months are going to be super fun, finding out what they decide to do with this Jade Cargill, character in the WWE. So we have that to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, WWE SmackDown is on. I'm going to be giving you live updates on my reactions to the matches. I'm actually very eager to go watch it right now, so you must excuse my abruptness. I can't say that word, guys. Abruptness. But once again, thank you for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button and leave a positive review. Peace, love, and positivity. Say how much you love me. Say how much you acknowledge me. I'm just kidding. No, I don't, I'm not that crazy. Or am I? I'm just kidding. It really does make a difference, guys. That's kind of what I want to, go on talking about. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, and TikTok for more content and updates. Like I said, if you stumbled upon this podcast, on accident, if you're not a wrestling fan, at the GSMC Sports Network, we also have, Sam with baseball, Nelson with basketball, my boy Kenneth on football. We had the Andrew Tate show. We just have a bunch of shows, guys. We just have a bunch of categories other than sports. We are your number one podcast conglomerate for entertainment. So just get lost with the GSMC Podcast Network, and you won't be sorry. So once again, thank you and have a phenomenal day.
I don't want to go to work. Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work.